Hi, welcome to Minicab Drivers Lifeline and Great Trained UK. We provide training for survey assessment, topographical assessment, B1, life in the UK, driving theory test, and much more. Today we are going to talk about the big change that you have been waiting for more than a year now in regards to transparency with your earning. You wanted to know how much of your earning been kept by Uber. So this is something Uber calling is a big change, and they're saying they're becoming more transparent in regards to their pricing. So you need to focus on these words really carefully. When they say more transparency, that means they're already being transparent and they're becoming more transparent now. Which a lot of you don't believe was the case. Anyway, so we're here to analyze and comment on what Uber has said and announced. So let us go through this. So what Uber is saying is that from 20th of November, now 2023, you should see a new page in your weekly earnings statement which will detail the amount kept by Uber and also other deduction made by Uber from your earning in a nutshell. And they're also saying that, and this is happened because of the feedback you have been providing, and they've been listening. And to my understanding, as my students say to me, that a lot of drivers have been talking about every time there is a survey, there is an event for Uber to collect Uber drivers' opinion on certain matter. They have been keep on talking about the amount kept by Uber, and it's not being transparent. Them not knowing how much a passenger is paying and how much a Uber driver is getting paid. So they have now made this available on the weekly statement that you receive via email, and also there is a link that's been sent to all drivers, through which you can check your weekly statements. So let us look at a bit of a history. Let us have a look how actually we ended up being here. First of all, when Uber came into London, the pricing was based on distance and time. That means the amount of miles you drive and then the time you spend in completing the ride. This is how you would get paid. Then drivers initially used to pay 20% commission on their income and keep the rest, 20% commission to Uber and then keep the rest. And then making £1,000 a week was peanuts. It was so easy. Some drivers told me that on a Thursday night they would go out for 4 hours and they would make easily £150–200 in that time. And also drivers would also tell me that on a Friday night 250 in 5-6 hours, Saturday night in the same amount of over £300. It was so easy. Making that money wasn't difficult. But then the Uber introduced, I believe after 2015, it was probably 2015 or 16, when they introduced a 25% commission for newer drivers who onboarded with Uber. But again, the earning was still good. It was transparent. Uber was still telling you how much a customer is paying and how much commission they're keeping and how much a driver is getting. It was quite transparent, and earning was good based on distance and time. And then what happened? Then Uber adopted an upfront pricing model. First for the passenger, this means that a passenger will given a fixed price. Passenger was given a fixed price for their journey. Now, unless there is a drastical change to the route or the time taken, the price wouldn't change much. And again, this was an area of complaint by the drivers because the distance shown and the time shown by Uber at the time of the offering the job or a trip, it was never the same. On almost all cases, as I was told, that it was not the same. It would change it would change to, as the driver start the trip, it would change. For example, driver may be shown distance is 6 miles. When they start the driving, it's become 8 miles, 9 miles. So again, drivers weren't very happy with this pricing, but still at that point it was transparent. Still, Uber was telling drivers how much a passenger is paying and how much they are keeping. Then what happens? Then they introduced the same for the driver, meanings they also started giving the drivers an upfront pricing and not telling drivers how much a passenger is paying. And then when a friend of mine told me, and few of them told me who became students of our training center later on as well, I did not believe it. And I said a company like Uber would never do this, because they're saying the amount of money is being paid by the customer and amount is capped by Uber is ridiculous. And then slowly a lot of drivers started asking customers how much they're paying, because they didn't know, and then they would match. And slowly, and this is so much on social media about it, that even 70%, can you just imagine 70%? So what the model adopted by Uber is this, that the more longer the trip is, the more a passenger is paying, the more amount of money is kept by Uber. It's up to 70%. Some people found out up to 70%. I was talking to one of my students just a few days ago. He said he found a customer who paid to Uber for a trip 166 pounds, and then Uber has offered him only 62 pounds to complete the job. So you can just calculate from here that how much is Uber is keeping. But Uber is never in acceptance of this. That they don't accept it, but they were twisting the words. Let's move on. And then driver, as I said, asking customers, and they find out, and 70% as well. Then what happens? Now, Uber in their own wordings, they're saying that many drivers believe that Uber keep all of the money from riders' fare, excluding driver earning and tips, but the calculation isn't always simple. This is what they're saying. As I have explained before as well, there is a reason for why the drivers are saying this. What they have been saying this for quite a long time now. There's a very good piece of work done by a research company, and you can go to YouTube, and if you just type in how Uber robs its drivers, you will find it there. It's pretty much in details research they have done, and investigation as well. So you can find out actually how Uber robs its driver, in addition to what I have just said. Now let's move on and see what Uber is trying to say now, and how much difference it is going to make in your income. So now this is to an example before we move on. There is a trip, and if you can zoom in and see that 100 miles both ways and only 60 pounds. And someone told me that they have been offered a job to Reading, which is about 50 miles for 60 pounds. And this happening all the time. Look at the other one on the right hand side and this is taken from social media, from Milton Keynes, from central London, beyond Luton Airport, and then again 55, 66 pounds. So these are the prices. It's ridiculous. Birmingham, 130, 150 pounds from central London. It's ridiculous amount of pricing they introduced. And then when you ask the passengers, and then they would tell you how much actually they paid. But what this triggered a lot of drivers to do, what is this, that they would go to the pickup point, and then they speak to the customer, they come into a deal with them, they would cancel the trip, I have heard, and then they take a cash amount. This is something Uber is forcing drivers to. Obviously, this is not something ideal. This should not be done, because it's illegal to take a passenger without a booking. But people have been doing it because they're saying they're desperate, because it's not covering the cost. And also, in last almost 2 years now, is cost of living has shoot up. For example, gas bill, electricity, everything has gone up. But one thing did not go up is Uber earning for the drivers. Uber earning for I'm not saying for the passenger, because passengers' ride has become expensive. Uber is charging a great amount of money to the customers. It has increased, but the earning for the driver did not change. It has gone down. So drivers have to now drive longer distance, more miles, and spend more time on the road to earn the same amount of money, because they have to meet the living cost. Anyway, let's move on now. Let's see what they say. So what they're saying, obviously, it's a common sense. It will start with the rider fare. Obviously, the main source of income that comes from the riders. They pay the amount of money, and then from that, Uber keep their share. Uber keeps their share, and then obviously the drivers get paid as well. So this is rider fares. And then what they are saying, and then there is rider promotions. So what was previously was paid by Uber itself from the 20-25% commission they would keep. Now they're saying that rider promotions that they offer to passengers to attract new customers, or getting more riders on board, or booking fares, is all need to come directly from the driver's income, not from the amount kept by Uber. So this is what they're saying here. Now, third thing, they are saying that there's a third party fees as well, like tolls. For example, if you pick up or drop off passengers in airports, and and then other relevant surcharges, this all been now passed into the driver's earning, not to the Uber itself, which was previously covered by Uber as well. And then what they're saying, and this is the big one actually, that worker entitlement. You remember that court case they lost in 2021 to give the old driver the worker right in terms of holiday pay, sick pay, pensions, and etc. And this is actually, it has all changed. Because this is an extra bit of money that was coming out of their pocket, and they're trying and finding a way of how to take it back from the drivers and giving it to them, which was, I don't think this was the motive behind going to the court in regards to making Uber to pay this workers' entitlement, but this is how they decided to take it back from the driver and give it back. But when it went to the ridiculous level, and this is when the drivers started speaking up, for example, 70%, 60% being kept by Uber, and this is where drivers started speaking up about it. So all this entitlement and everything also kept from the earning by the drivers. Remember, Uber used to keep 20%, 25%, and this was meant to come out from that entitlement, and this was the intention. The drivers went to the court. But now what Uber is doing now, this has been passed on. So you are making your own money, and from that money you are being paid for your sick pay, your holiday entitlement, and also your pension. Everything coming out from your income. Okay, and then they're saying that amount obviously kept to run their own business, operate and grow their business, supporting drivers, riders, etc., regulation and etc., this VAT and etc. That's the amount being kept by Uber. So this is what Uber has said so far, and obviously I have added my comment to it accordingly. Now let's see, they have given a calculation actually, a rough calculation as to how it is going to be look like from now on. So it's not very clear here, so I have put them together on the slide together for you to see better. So in this typical example, what they are saying, the rider fares is total for a week though. Remember, this is a weekly figure. They're not going to give you a breakdown of single rides, I believe. So it's a weekly figure. They're saying rider fares were £1,137. Then in regards to rider promotion, they have taken away £10.78. Then you have received £6 in tip, for example. Tips, let's keep it out of this calculation, because tip is something that is being paid by the riders, and Uber doesn't take no commission from it. Then third party fees, for example, tools and everything, another £14. Then after that you receive your amount of money, which was £870.62, and then Uber kept £247.77 including VAT. So let's now calculate this in regards to percentage to see how much is kept by Uber and how much you're receiving. So the total amount of deduction from the typical income example was 267.15. That including, remember this rider promotion and the tools, etc. Yeah. So that was 23.48%. That was 23.48%, which is not bad. This is the amount of deduction made by Uber, and then total amount kept by Uber in their own words. Now in that they have taken out all these promotions, third-party fees and everything. So that is 21.78%. Now, if this is true, and if this is correct, and if this is something Uber is actually going to do, even if they keep 25%, I repeat myself, even if they keep, even if the total deduction, including everything, still good earning. It is still a good amount of earning, that is. But the question is here, that is it really transparent? Is it really transparent? Because this breakdown is for weekly income, weekly riders fares. But how do you know actually how much a rider paid? And that was the point drivers were raising for this many years, that they wanted to know how much actually paid by a passenger for a particular ride. This is what they wanted to know. But this is, I believe, has not been told. Now, only way to find out again is to ask passenger how much they paid. Now, if you really want to find out, if you want to go through this pain and find out actually what's going on, what you can do as a driver, and come back and make a comment on this video to tell us if you have done it and if it is correct, is that ask each passenger how much they paid and then note down. And at the end of the week, make a total and see if it is correct. Okay? Because what Uber has done in last year and a half, more than a year and a half, almost 2 years, it's actually 2 years, it's very, drivers are finding it's very difficult to trust them anymore. Okay, so maybe if you want to go through this pain, please do so and come back and make a comment here to tell us what you have found out. Okay, so, and then while this going on, I've picked up from Facebook just this morning, and it was posted just 2 days ago. While Uber is talking about more transparent pricing, and then this is what type of job they're offering to the drivers. If I can make it bigger, here you go. So from Central London to St Albans, £29 ride for £38. And then this is, imagine, a return journey as well for you. And most of the time, and most of the cases, I don't know what time of the day or night this was offered, you probably come empty-handed up until somewhere in North London, if it is this area. So again, this is not an improvement. This is absolutely not an improvement that you are looking for, because this price does not reflect the price used to offer by Uber. So you need to keep an eye open. You really need to keep your eyes open to see whether all this transparency, all this calculation, all this everything they're showing, whole purpose that you wanted to see your income going up like before, not spending as much time as you are doing at the moment, and not driving as much distance as you are driving at the moment. You wanted to go back to that golden days, old golden days, when you would easily make 40-50 pound an hour with Uber. So this is what you're looking for. That's the whole point. Now let's see how it goes actually. And if question is, as I said, will you see your earning going up? And this is, you can tell me. So drive with them and for a week or so, have a look. December is coming as well, and this is the time of the year when all the drivers wait to see whether their income goes up or not. So come back here please and tell us whether this changes has made really any change. And also, as I have said, if you want to keep an account and speak to the riders and find out how much they're